Welcome to the Mediocre to Magnificent podcast. I'm your co-host, Braxton Matson, and your host, Lee A. Williams, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in because you are what makes this pure magnificence. You are the ripple effect of magnificence, and we are going to bring you a message that will give you insight, inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to not only grow in your magnificence, but let you know that you are magnificent in everything you do. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Man, we're here, man.
We are here.
How you been, man?
Magnificent.
I know. I've been magnificent too.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
What makes you magnificent?
God, man.
There you go. That's good. That's a good thing.
Consistently in his word.
Consistently seeking God.
You know, it's like a...
Has you magnificent.
Was it Paul that it was like waiting, and he described it as like being pregnant in a way, and you're waiting on. But there's some pains to it and stuff. I'd have to look up the scripture reading.
Yeah.
But that was that's a good illustration. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna go through some stuff, but
so that's
it's
great
beautiful.
that you said, like, I said, oh yeah, I said,
yeah.
Why are you magnificent? You said, yeah, okay, great. But then the thought process, what I want to talk about today, what I want us to talk about today is, why does mediocrity attack magnificence? And how would you respond to that?
Man,
especially after what you just
when you said that, the image that popped in my mind was Jesus.
Okay.
In the wilderness for 40 days.
Oh, in the wilderness for 40 days.
And where Satan's tempted him. And it's like, because mediocrity can't handle magnificence.
Expound on that, man.
Well, it's like a fake. I don't know. I mean, it's a phony version of true magnificence.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Is
counterfeit.
It's counterfeit. Yeah. It's not. It's, to me, like, mediocrity is the dopamine hit.
That's how you're playing.
But not getting the true value. You know what I mean?
Not getting the true value.
Yeah.
So it kind of like, you basically, some of the way you tied it in is to say the instant gratification piece.
Right. The easy way. The easy.
I'll give you this if you just. And it's like, that's a trick.
That's a trick, man.
You could have it if you will work towards it.
Yeah.
Work for it and be what you're called to be. So you're saying, so mediocrity attacks magnificence is people take shortcuts.
Yeah.
Or people want something for nothing.
But not willing to work for it.
Not willing to work for it.
Or not having the will or whatever to work for it.
The will to work.
I mean, think about it. Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Like, magnificence is... That's a big word. Like, when I first met you.
Yeah.
And you, like, said magnificent, like, I can't tell you the last time I heard somebody say magnificence. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Like, it's a unique word, and it's what? It's not a heavy, I would say a heavy word.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's a deep word, man.
Yeah,
there's a lot to it.
You're on another level if you say I'm magnificent.
Right.
I mean, if you like, you got the I Am Magnificent shirt on, so just by you walking around saying, making that proclamation to the world, man. I am magnificent. But mediocrity attacks that.
Yeah.
And you went right to like, oh, Satan coming after Christ in the wilderness.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think it's another way you could put it is it's the pull of comfortability.
That's what I was going to say too.
Yeah.
At what point do you, it's your own self-sabotage that it's just like, oh, well. Like, so today we're recording, podcast, but after today's podcast recording, going to the gym, man.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm doing it too.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, we're doing, well, not gym, but like,
get your movement.
We're getting our movement in.
Yeah, get your movement. That's what gym is for us. Get your movement. But the thought process to say is that you be naive for 1 second if you think that, in my mind, it's like, don't worry about it, man. It's early.
It's okay. You can do it later.
Tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Later.
Let's just do it later.
Tomorrow.
What if there is no tomorrow?
Tomorrow never comes.
All right. Right. What if it never comes?
In mediocrity, tomorrow never comes.
Yeah.
Magnificent, the time is now.
Right.
But the thing is, where I'm pointing out is the attack of being able to acknowledge and saying, hey, and I know I just started with the gym, get your movement, because it's an easy one to depict, and people have lived the experience and gone through it. But you could say, hey, I'm not playing that game.
Right.
Me staying home doesn't help me achieve my goals, in which my goals are aligned with magnificence.
Yeah.
That's why we have the whole 8 M's to magnificent living. It's like movement, in my depiction, the methodology that we created to help people be their best version of themselves is do some movement.
Yeah.
So if you say, hey, the attack is to keep you out of there.
Yeah, that's the attack.
Like, no, you don't.
It's like, you don't need movement.
You don't need movement.
No, not right now.
Like you went yesterday.
Yeah, you went yesterday.
Or y'all.
You can push it back. You don't need it right now.
Or you're gonna be like, you're going somewhere and it's like, say, just be funny. Like, you're going to the zoo later. You're taking some kids to the zoo.
Yeah, you'll get your steps.
You'll be able to walk around the zoo.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, man. And don't tell me you can share if you want to. Does your mind play you like?
Oh, absolutely.
Be like, hey,
it will mess like mornings.
You'll be fine.
The mornings get to me, man.
You doing a full body circuit, high intensity interval training circuit, compared to you just walking around the zoo with a couple kids that you're taking to the zoo. It's insane.
It's not. I mean,
like if you're saying, "Hey, I'm going to the grocery store today, and I'm gonna walk around the grocery store," and I got to go to a couple stores.
So I get to walk around multiple stores.
Yeah. So and I'll park farther out.
Oh,
I'll park out.
Let's get back. Okay.
I mean, this is how elaborate you have to understand.
This is how elaborate the trick is.
How elaborate the attack on your magnificence is.
Yeah.
I'm going to several stores. I'll park far out. I got my steps in. It's like you needed to run.
Needed to run.
There's a different kind of step that you have to take for magnificence.
Yeah.
The steps you're counting on the store ain't it.
Right.
From the park, you got to run. Those are the steps we got to count.
The steps you're taking at that point, to me, in my head, I'm going, okay, that's the baseline. That's baseline.
And I think we did it when we said about I was messing with my wife about the swimming on the, it's like, oh, that's all you done? But,
yeah.
It's like, so at what point does the base, like you've worked out?
Yeah.
Like you've been to the gym and you've been to the store. You can't tell me what the store is compared to the assault bike, or the parking lot walk to the rower is the same.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that. But if you say, okay, hey, when that thought pops into your mind, if you'll start saying, I will not be tricked.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Jesus in the wilderness.
Man, just go ahead. Just like you said.
Yeah.
I won't live by bread alone.
Right.
But every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. So I know we tied it back to scripture. That's wonderful. You literally have to say, because the thoughts are going to come.
They always come. Like,
so you say,
always
like,
come.
Well, I just, and you have to be able to get into the place with your life to say, that's a trick.
It is.
Or there's other verses. Cancel.
Doesn't serve me.
Cancel that.
Yeah.
Pass. Nope. Not thinking on that one. Stay in the gym. Because the baseline that I'm coming from teaching on this is thoughts, feelings, actions, results. If you're like, you let the thought come in your mind, it's like, oh man, it sure would be good just to sleep in today.
Then you get that feeling.
You're like, man, and you let it grow.
You let it marinate.
Next thing you know, it's like, you're still in bed. That's the action that's been created. That's it. And the results is, in this example, is you missed the gym. Or sometimes it's just enough to throw you off that you got there late. Oh. And now it's packed. It's crowded. You're trying to get on the squat rack. There's somebody on the squat rack, and your experience has changed. Yeah. You know you're supposed to get up earlier. You know you are.
And you know if you did, it wouldn't have been like this.
So then if you say, what about the attack, if we say the meal attack?
Oh, man. That's, yeah. I'm like, so I'm going through that, I'm going through the 40-day thing. Okay. So I can only have like 3 meals a day. That's it. No snacking, no nothing. No sweets. But
how are you doing with that?
I'm doing, to me, very well. Magnificent.
Doing magnificent.
Because it's like the thought. It's really the thought. You have to check the thought.
Put it in its place.
It really you have to check the thought and be like, okay, this isn't going to serve me.
Gotta shut it down.
And then it's like, okay. And then you're like, it becomes a habit to where the thoughts that you were thinking no longer are there.
Yeah.
But the magnificent thoughts, we can put it that way.
Give me an example, man.
So, like with the eating, usually I would do something.
Fiery dart comes your way. It's like, hey.
So, good one. This was a good one. This one happened this week. So Friday, I was at one of the days during the week I fast.
Oh, really?
So when I say fast, it's like no food. Like either it'll be a meal, or it'll be a couple meals, or maybe the whole day.
Yeah.
So that day I was like, okay, my breakfast and my lunch, I'm going to fast. Now, when I say fast, this doesn't mean, okay, I'm not going to eat. No, it's like I'm going to reflect in God's word. Replace that with my meal.
Feed on the Lord.
Right. Exactly.
Bread of life.
So I'm getting ready to go. I did a little bit of meditation in the morning, did some scripture reading. I got to work, I had my water with me. And one of the people in the lobby, they're like, okay, everybody, like we've got donuts and coffee.
Oh, yeah. You have to understand that.
But here's
the
extra layer.
You have to know that.
Here's the extra layer to it. It wasn't just any regular donut.
Oh, no.
No.
It was
like the hero donuts.
It was
like the donut. Stuff that they got, that hero. It's in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, it was deep.
It's an elaborate, like this is like some legit nice donuts. It's not like your regular
crap. we don't have to call names.
and then you got like all the donuts and the coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I texted Candace about it.
But look at that. Look at
and
that.
I'm
attack.
like,
look at that. Attack.
Do you see? But you see it? I'm fasting, Lee.
Yeah, that's it.
This isn't me eating a healthy meal.
He doesn't have to come to you and offer you anything verbally.
Right.
To your face.
Yeah.
How, like, if you were to talk to a couple of people, because one of my mentors, and I mean, even me, or, I mean, Coleman's mentioned it.
Yeah.
Several times. Like, man, how do you, when you get on your meals and your movement or fast,
you
get on your regimen, and then that's the day they're ordering pizza for the whole.
That's it, man.
It's like,
really?
Like you said, you said you want to be magnificent. You said you're not doing it. You already declared what you're going to do today.
And sometimes, and I took it a different. I kind of took it a different way. I was like, thank you, God, because He's testing me.
Yeah,
He's testing me.
Yeah,
I'm not going to give the enemy.
I always love this. you know me. I love this. Do you think this is for someone? This is for someone. This is just how my mind processes it. If you were, because we've taught on this, so hopefully the people that have been listening and following, they know.
Yeah.
They know the answer to this. Would you have passed the test if you would have went and got a few of those donuts and got some napkins and wrapped them up and saved them for when you were off your fast?
My answer would be no. No.
It's like,
I would say no to that, man.
I'm fasting now.
But I'll get it later.
But I could have it for later.
No.
Look, watch it.
No.
You won't surely die.
Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I would no.
So you're telling me
there is no way.
There's a lot. You said breakfast and lunch. Fasting. If I go to the donut, now I have to touch the donut. Remember the touch? Now I'm touching it.
Now you're touching it.
You're not supposed to touch them. You're not supposed to touch it, but you have the donut in your hand to be able to wrap it up. So you wrap up your 2 or 3, they're free donuts.
Oh, man.
So you wrap them up, and you're like, I'll just save this for later.
Oh, the way you illustrated that, man.
I'm not fasting. This will be my dessert.
It's crazy.
Why are you laughing?
Because that's so true, man.
Look how tricky.
Because that's the level of trickiness.
That's the level of it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So the fire dart is coming like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll just get it for later.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what later becomes?
Now.
I mean, in essence, but for this story, you'll be like, the ride home, you're already crushing the donut. They don't even make it to the dessert.
Ooh,
and
man.
then the enemy, whoever, is laughing. At the easiest case, if we want to go that far, your self-sabotage,
right?
Your mediocrity, the comfortability of where you're at in your life and your journey has won or gained some points.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say like, oh, well, because see, so we zoomed in for this example.
Right.
We zoomed in like, oh, you're fasting lunch and breakfast and lunch. But you said before that you're not doing sweets.
Yeah.
So you see how the trick is like, oh, well, I can just eat it for. So the way it went is like, well, I didn't break the fast for breakfast and lunch.
But he got you
for the sweets.
Yeah. And you didn't even think about that.
Of course not.
I mean, at that time, I did think about that. But in the heat of the moment, you didn't think about it.
In the heat of the battle.
Like the
darts are whipping past.
And then you got that one dart. They get you.
And you're like, I can just eat it later. It's just like,
what happened?
Everyone's looking like, the people rooting for you like,
yeah.
You said you weren't eating sweets.
Right.
where did they go from breakfast, lunch, no sweets to I can eat a donut later?
Right. That's it, man.
The attack. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. But
man.
So the thought process ends up being, that's an attack. So the meditation attack. Like you say, like everybody had the hustle and bustle of life.
I feel like that's the bigger one.
Should be like, oh, you just I'm gonna go in there in 10 minutes and meditate. You're going in 10 minutes. We gotta leave in 20 minutes. What are you doing? Like, I need to get present and get grounded. I've been having a lot going on. I want a state change.
Right.
I need a state change. And people don't understand that. So that's an attack all the time.
All the time.
Because people don't get present and get out of their mind and get into their body and really resonate and see where they're at. So that's the meditation piece. And people listening probably could chime in and know and really resonate and feel this to be like, some people be like, oh no, I'm already past that. But I promise you the one to be like, it's no big deal. So it just has to start thinking about those things of it's no big deal.
Like really, you need to dig a little deeper on that one.
Yeah. So and we always say, I taught a lesson, man, to a university. And it's just like, they're saying, we're going to school. They're bringing me on, bringing me in for mindset and just really like reframing, refocusing, giving different perspective of like the hustle and bustle of what's all going on. Full-time students, some of them are working full-time, juggling, making it.
Right.
And it's like, you can't afford not to meditate.
Right.
You have to.
You really can.
Like, you have to. Well, you don't have to. You can keep being stressed out. Or keep being overwhelmed. But you choose to meditate, man. And then, what's the attack? If you say, what's the attack on meetups? What would you say?
That's a good one.
What's the attack on that, man?
I think for me, the word that hits more to me is the isolation.
Yep.
That's a big one. Yep. That's a big one scripture-wise, too. It's like isolation is not good. Yeah. You can't.
Even if we just go back to the funny donut version, right?
Yeah.
To say if you like, but that's so there's mentor, there's meetup, but we're going to be in the meetup lane right now for this. But if you were to have told me no sweets for however long, I'm fasting this day, and then so happen to be we're hanging out, and they're ordering pizza or they're free donuts and coffee. No, really,
right?
And I'm like, hey man, you're looking at the donuts?
You're looking at the donuts.
You say it. Look, I'm just telling you the person I am.
Yeah.
Because see, I'm teaching, right? So the thought process is because if we go back to the Eve and we're talking about like, oh, well, you touched it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, what are you doing looking at it, man?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I mean, really.
You can't have it. What are you looking at?
Yeah, don't look at it, man.
Don't look.
Just don't look at
it. Just don't look.
Turn away now. Just, like, really. But see, if you didn't have meetups, if you didn't have people around you that help you stay accountable.
Yeah. But some people be like, oh, well, I'm not going to go to that. And it's just like, if you once you tap into the right group of people that align with your beliefs and your goals and are willing to stand in the gap for you, the sum total of the people you hang around the most, that whole deal is be like, okay, well we're going for a hike today. Say for instance, like we're going on a hike. You're gonna get you some movement. So it's like, I've never seen donuts on the trail, man.
Never.
Like never seen it.
Never seen them.
So that's a place that's an environment that you wouldn't have put yourself into in that instance.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that how they'll be attacked is, like you said, to be like, oh no, I don't have time. It's not on my schedule. It's gonna make some stuff go on. Situation is like, no, you really should have plugged into the group. So then that isolation piece, because there's levels to get to the point where you're able to be like, get out of here, man. I'm not following that. No, I'm not on that.
Right.
That's not what I'm on. I'm on Magnificence. That's a trick.
Mm-hmm.
So then the mentor piece, man. How does mentors be attacked?
For me, it would be like not like when you think of a mentor. Some people put them in like a certain like, oh man,
put them on a pedestal.
Yeah, they put them on a pedestal, or maybe they don't even realize like, hey, well, the mentor doesn't even have to be alive. Like it can be,
or you don't have to know them personally.
Yeah, you don't have to know them personally.
So the thought process that I think about the mentors is like people have mentors in their life, but they're not coachable. Like you have somebody that knows, that's been there, but for whatever reason, you get
right.
I can't ask him that, or I don't want to tell him that, or I don't want to say that.
Yes, the asking part.
You got a mentor for this.
You gotta ask, man.
You already have a mentor. You don't got tricked at asking.
You gotta ask.
Like, how do I win not being tricked with eating the donut? How do I win not being tricked of missing my meditation? How do I win the trick of making sure I get my movement?
Yeah. It's kind of like
how do you win? Tell me how you are victorious.
It's almost like that saying they'll say is like, no question is a stupid question.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you got mentors.
We all have mentors.
And if they don't know, I'm pretty sure they know somebody that may know. But yeah, that's a trick.
I mean, the message. Think about that. Of how mediocrity attacks your message. I mean, we could we could do a whole episode.
That's a whole That's
a whole episode. I mean, each one of
that really is a whole episode. Each one of these could be
all
of them could be
standalone episode.
But the message
one. How long? How many times? So I always like saying this because we just got back from a trip. So the thought process, the hat I always wear.
Yeah.
Outside kayak and wrapped into and. But my wife, she always been like, how many people said they loved your hat or liked your hat? But the only reason why I'm saying that version is because I won't never forget when I purchased the first one, because I've got like 3 of them. But when I purchased the first one and I put it on, my mom was at the store with me actually that day, and she was like, oh, you got to get that. Like, because there was a part that was like, She was like, oh, you got to get it. Yeah. You got to get it, Lee. So it's almost in essence like, who knows you more than your mama knows you? Right. Like, that's you. But the thought process, so wherever I go and people say certain stuff, and I've probably mentioned it before, but it's only not to be like, oh, look at me, he's getting compliments for his hat. Like, like, come on, y'all. But the thought process is literally, it's all about me honoring my message.
Yeah.
But if we take the lesson further, is where are you choosing to honor your message? Or where are you playing with your message? Or where are you that there might be somebody in your life, if you really told them what your message is or what you want it to be, just what you want it to be, they might not necessarily give you the buy-in.
Right.
So then you don't honor your message and you back burner it. Or you let it, for some people, they let it die. And it's like, that's not your message. That's an attack.
That is an attack.
What do you think about that?
That's a big attack.
You're like, you're not even honoring your message?
Yeah.
And it could be anywhere from, I mean, if you're like, I mean, we've heard this version, like, man, I want to start a business. You want to start a business? What
Everybody's.
Man, you need to keep your job. Man,
you're comfortable.
They don't have no benefit.
Yeah.
You don't have no 401k. You don't. But you're heart to heart. Your message. You're like, man, I wanna write a book.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna start a podcast. I wanna get this business going. I wanna. You're like,
You can't tell me that mediocrity's
huh?
gonna poke at that one. Like
Why
that's
are
a
you
big
saying
poke.
that?
That's a big poke,
That's
man.
a big poke.
That's a big one.
It's a big poke.
Yeah, especially with the message. Yeah. But I feel like if you can check all the other M's, that helps with that.
Oh, of course,
for sure.
Like if you, and that's where people don't realize. Like, I won't never forget. I was talking to somebody, and some stuff was coming up, and I was like, "Oh, hey, man, you gonna be able to make it to the?" Like, nah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it. I was like, "Oh, okay. Why not?" And he was like, "Oh, well, talk to the wife. And wife told me, man, you ain't done some of the stuff you said you was gonna do."
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, where do you go from that?
Right.
Even if you're the mentor person, like talking to a person that you mentor, and the person talks to their wife, and the wife says, "Man, you ain't even done some of the things you said."
Right.
You want to know where I went?
Where?
I said, "Oh, well, what's some of the stuff you need to do?"
Right.
And then he said, and I said, "Okay, so when do you plan on doing it?
When you gonna get them done?" Yeah.
But the reason why I'm tying that into is because the 8 M's. If you were working in some of these M's, I'm telling you, you're going to be more likely to do the things you said you're going to do.
Yeah.
And it's once you get away from that, that's where the manifestation piece is. Like, you're not manifesting what you want because you teach people how to treat you, and your wife or the people closest to you, I'm just using this as an example, they're watching you and they're seeing how you show up. So if you would have been like,
it doesn't add up.
Well, you said you're going to go to the gym. It's like you're sleeping in.
It doesn't add up to them. They can see it.
So then you're like, oh well, I was going to fast today. But let's just play out the story that we've already created. You brought home donuts, man.
You brought them home.
You brought them home,
and you're going to eat them.
Like, how long are these donuts supposed to last? Because you said.
Yeah.
So
you're not even supposed to be eating sweets. Why you got the donuts?
You. Like I can't believe what you say.
Right.
Like you said, you fasted today. Well, that's wonderful. And you called her, told her. That's great. They came home. You had some bright idea. You took the bright idea from the enemy. You took that. You wrapped some up. It's like, but you said you weren't eating sweets, man.
Yeah.
So then we keep watching. It's like they had a couple. Oh, we got a cash flow meetup. Talk about your finances. Oh, we got a networking meet and greet. Oh, we got a magnificent mind call. It's like, you don't show up to the meetings, man. How do you expect, you really think now you want to take money and invest away from our family, and there is no sign of like, what are you doing? Like, you're going on vacation. Like, this ain't a business. This isn't business. Yeah. This doesn't tie into your vision. This isn't involved in manifesting what you want. You're just going to hang out with Lee. How can you feel like? Yeah. I see, man. I get it. All right, man. Maybe next year. Maybe some other time. I mean, but then there's an M that we don't really ever talk about. But I'm writing a book on it, and it is not included in the first A. But it's money. Yeah. It's like say for instance, if you're like, how is money attached? It's like you're working a job. You're a W-2 employee. No disrespect. No disrespect. But at what point are you going to seek mentorship and have, okay, I got a business. I'm going to have tax write-offs. I'm going to have deductions. I pay a mortgage. I have a home office. I have a cell phone. I have power. I have water. All these are, what are you doing? And then it's like, it doesn't add up. It's like, well, look at what my business was able to do and generate and save. The biggest expense we have is taxes. Right. So let me put more money in my pocket. I'll be able to. And you know the people that are doing it, but you don't do it.
Right.
So we're talking about touching stuff. It's like, but you're not touching that. Why are you staying away from that?
Right.
Seems like something's under attack. What do you say to that?
It could be, yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it's a lot of reflection on that.
It's a lot of reflection. Somebody needs to reflect.
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing is magnificence is always under attack.
Always.
And whatever. We could talk, marriage, money, what you're manifesting, what your message is, your meals, movement, meditation, meetup. Your mindset's under attack. Yeah. Not to think so is naive. Not to think so is naive. Mm-hmm. But there's a quote. I might have said it on here. I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. Yeah. So, what are you going to protect, man? Right. And how are you going to train yourself up to protect it? That's what this is about. Right. Stop being tricked. Stop accepting mediocrity. Stop accepting the status quo. Stop seeking comfort.
That's a good one.
Why you say that?
That probably hits me more with the comfort.
Get out of the comfortability. I got to start calling you and say, hey, are you comfortable? Get up. Just stand up right now.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Really? Like you got to call yourself out on it.
Call you, pick up. That's what I'm going to start doing my client. What are you doing right now? Okay, put me on speakerphone.
Put me on speaker.
No, just listen. Just put me on speaker. Okay, put the phone down. All right, hold plank. And keep talking to me. Yeah. I'll let you know when enough time's pass. And you're like, wow, what's up with that? Like, when I hear you, yeah. I can hear the shake in your breath. Yeah. All right. You're not comfortable anymore. That's good. Just get up. Yeah. What's the difference?
It's different.
That's the love I'm talking about. I love you enough to be like, get down there. Get uncomfortable right now. State change.
State change. State change.
We're talking about changing your state to magnificence.
State change. Yeah.
Only magnificence is under attack. Mediocrity is not under attack.
No.
It never will be. No. You want to be mediocre? Oh, that's easy. But if I say, hey, from now on, the first 2 minutes of our coaching call is going to be you holding plank.
That's
different.
That's different, man.
We want something different. You got to do something different.
You have to.
I feel good about it, man.
Magnificent about it, man.
I'm testing you. It's a test. You better speak it. All right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Mediocrity is not under attack. But your magnificence is. Till next time.
This is your co-host here, Braxton Matson, and Lee and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we did making it, but we couldn't do it without you. So please hit that like button, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Let us know what topic or subject that you would like us to talk about in your journey from mediocre to magnificent. But most of all, share it. Be the ripple effect of magnificence and know that you are magnificent in everything you do. Till next time.